Hi, I'm Megan and welcome to my kitchen. In today's What's for Lunch video, I'll be sharing 4 easy and delicious lunch ideas with you. So if you're looking for some lunch inspiration, just keep watching. First up, I'm making a Copycat Chick-fil-A Cobb salad. Now, I didn't follow a recipe for this. I just read the menu description for the salad on Chick-fil-A's app and tried to recreate it the best I could. So first up, for the chicken, you can of course use grilled chicken. You can cook up your own homemade chicken nuggets. I am using these frozen Southern style chicken bites. I get these from Sam's Club. A lot of people say these are Chick-fil-A dupes. Personally, I don't feel like they taste exactly like Chick-fil-A's. I definitely can taste pickle in these, but they're pretty darn close. So I'm going to use that. Just use your preference. I've got some lettuce. Use your preference. Grape tomatoes, some hard-boiled eggs. I have some leftover grilled corn. You can, of course, char up corn yourself. I've got some bacon I'm going to cook and crumble up. I have some cheddar and Monterey Jack cheese, and then I have these crispy red bell peppers. I just found these at the regular grocery store and with like all the salad toppings. And then Chick-fil-A normally puts an avocado lime ranch dressing with this. Now you can buy the Chick-fil-A dressings, including the avocado lime ranch, at your grocery store, but I didn't have it, but I did have some leftover homemade ranch on hand. So I'm going to use just some fresh lime juice, that leftover ranch, and an avocado. First, I'm going to make my salad dressing. So here I have my little Ninja blender. I am going to add in the avocado to the blender. Next, I'm going to add in some of that fresh lime juice, and I'm just doing everything to taste. After I've added the lime juice, I'm going to add in the prepared ranch dressing. This is just the Hidden Valley ranch dressing dry mix. I just make it according to the package instructions. Once I've added that, I off camera added a little pinch of salt, or actually no, I show you the salt. And then I'm going to cover that with the lid and then pulse that until the avocado is pureed and it has come together. I may have added too much avocado for the amount of ranch dressing that I had because it was super thick, so I thinned it down with some buttermilk. I'd used the buttermilk to make the ranch dressing. But that's it. Pretty easy. Just give it a taste. Adjust the seasonings to your taste. You can add a little more salt if you feel like it needs it, a little more lime juice, but that's it. Pretty simple. So for the chicken nuggets, I cooked them in my air fryer. You can, of course, cook them in the oven or deep fry them, whatever you prefer. I cooked it at 400 degrees for about 9 or 10 minutes, and I shook it halfway through. So now I'm ready to assemble the salad, and there's really no right or a wrong way to order all of the ingredients. Just do whatever your heart leads you to do. But basically, I am just going to add some lettuce to my bowl, and I like to take just a pair of kitchen scissors and kind of give the lettuce a rough chop. I'm then going to add on my hard-boiled eggs. I sliced those up. Next, I added the chopped grape tomatoes. You can leave them whole if you want. I'm going to add some of the shredded cheddar and Monterey Jack cheese. And then I fibbed to you earlier. I had every intention of cooking up bacon, but I had some already cooked bacon pieces on hand, and I was like, I'm just going to use that. So use whatever you've got on hand. Next, I'm going to add some of that grilled corn. I just cut it off the cob. Then I'm going to add those crispy red bell peppers. And then last but not least, I'm adding the chicken nuggets. I just gave them a rough chop. All right, here is the salad, and then the final step is just to add some of that avocado lime ranch dressing, and that's it. This was so good. Next up, I just call it a turkey melt. I think at some point I'd seen a recipe for this like on Pinterest or something, but it's been years ago. I make this sandwich pretty often. Here's what I like to use to make it. First up, I am using some spinach. I've got some honey mustard. You can use whatever kind of bread you want. I'm using sourdough, some cheddar cheese slices, turkey, tomato, and then some bacon. You can, of course, cook up some bacon. I'm using this pre-cooked bacon, and then you'll need some kind of butter for your bread. Now, I didn't show me assembling the sandwich. You all know how to put a sandwich together, but basically, I butter the outsides of the bread, flip it over, add the honey mustard, and then I just add the other toppings. So I add my cheddar cheese, the tomatoes, spinach, bacon, the turkey, and then put the sandwiches together. You want to grill this over top of the stove on no higher than medium heat. Otherwise, you're going to burn your bread before that cheese has a chance to melt. Once it's golden brown on both sides and the cheese is ooey and gooey, it's done. All right, here are the plates, and I don't know if this translated on to the picture here, but those sandwiches were actually pretty big. I only ate a half of a sandwich, and we had an apple on the side with the sandwiches, and that was plenty filling for me. I love this sandwich. It's something about the combination of the honey mustard with the turkey and the bacon. It's just really yummy. Next lunch idea is a Copycat O'Charlie's Southern Pecan Chicken Salad. Now, just like with the Copycat Chick-fil-A salad that I showed first, didn't follow a real recipe for this. I just went by the menu description. O'Charlie's menu description for this salad says it's O'Charlie's famous chicken tenders with a special pecan breading chopped with mandarin oranges, dried cranberries, blue cheese crumbles, candied pecans with a balsamic vinaigrette. So here's everything that I'm going to use for the salad today. First up, I've got just some bagged salad. I'm using this Newman's Own honey balsamic vinaigrette dressing. I have some crumbled goat cheese. I'm going to use this instead of the blue cheese. I don't like blue cheese, and I have these goat cheese crumbles on hand, so that's what I'm going to use. Just use your preference. Now, instead of the chicken tenders being fried in a pecan batter, I just used some leftover grilled chicken that we had from dinner one night. But of course, if you want to bread some chicken and like some crumbled up pecans and breadcrumbs, you can of course totally do that. I have some mandarin oranges I'm going to drain, and then I have this bag of dried cranberries and honey pecans. All right, here are the salads. So all I did was lay down some of the lettuce. I gave it a chop. I added some of the chopped up chicken, the drained mandarin oranges, some of those goat cheese crumbles, the cranberries and pecans. And then lastly, I just drizzled some of that honey balsamic vinaigrette over it, gave it a toss, and this salad was delicious. I loved the combination of the goat cheese with the pecans and the cranberries and that balsamic vinaigrette. This was delicious. The last lunch idea I've got to share with you today is a turkey, Gouda, and strawberry jalapeno sandwich. Now that might sound a little bit fancy, but this is so easy to put together and you only need just a few ingredients. I first made this sandwich like a month or so ago, and I've already made it like 3 or 4 times since then. I love this sandwich. I'm loving the like sweet and spicy flavors in it. I will link the original recipe down in the description box below for you. Let me show you how I put this together. First up, you need some kind of bread. I'm using ciabatta, which is what the recipe calls for, but you could use whatever kind you prefer. You need some mayonnaise, a tomato, and then the recipe calls for arugula. I've made this with arugula. I've made it with spinach today. I didn't have either on hand, so I'm just going to skip that. We need some sliced Gouda cheese, some sliced deli turkey, and then last but not least, the recipe calls for raspberry jam and for you to add chipotle peppers and adobo to that raspberry jam. But what actually inspired me to make this recipe the first time was I'd bought this strawberry jalapeno jam at a farmer's market, and I was looking for ways to use it up. So I'm going to use the strawberry jalapeno jam, but really all you need for this recipe is just a sweet and spicy jam, like a pepper jelly. If you don't have that, the recipe does give instructions on how to combine chipotles with whatever kind of fruit jam you've got. So let me show you how I assemble this sandwich real quick. You can eat this sandwich cold or you can eat it hot. I prefer it hot. So my oven is preheating to 400 degrees. I'm going to take my ciabatta rolls, split them in half, and then add them to a cookie sheet. Next, I'm going to take the mayonnaise and spread just a thin layer on one side of the rolls. You could do it on both sides if you prefer. Next, I'm going to take some of the strawberry jalapeno jam and add it to the other side. Now, I do not find this sandwich to be super spicy at all. If someone who is sensitive to heat, between all the bread and the turkey and the cheese and everything, it really isn't that spicy. It just kind of adds a nice little kick to it. So once I've got the strawberry jam added to that, I'm going to add my sliced Gouda cheese and then the sliced turkey. You can add as much or as little of the cheese and turkey as what you like. Then we're going to add on the arugula or spinach if we were using it, and then some of the sliced tomato. I decided to skip the tomato today on my sandwich, and whenever I add tomato to a sandwich, I always like to add a little salt and pepper to it. So I'm going to cover the sandwiches with their tops and then place this into the oven just for about maybe 8 to 12 minutes until the bread gets toasted and that cheese is melted. All right, here's a picture of the plates. So along with the sandwiches, I just did some quick side salads today, and both Gary and I really enjoyed this sandwich. So if you're someone who likes savory and sweet or spicy and sweet, I recommend you give this recipe a try. It's really good. All right, that is it for today's video. I hope you liked it. I hope it gave you some new lunch ideas to try. If you did like it, hit the thumbs up button below and subscribe to my channel if you're not already. I hope you have a great rest of the day. Thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye.